cooking today. We're doing an Italian white bread, famous Italian white bread, ciabatta. Made in 1982 by an Italian baker in Verona. Made with some flour, warm water, dry yeast, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, and some olive oil. As formalities go, if you enjoy the content, please support the channel, drop a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share the content, and let's jump right in. Alrighty friends, straight off the bat, this is a recipe to create 1 loaf of ciabatta, so modify the recipe as you need. So what we need here, or what it requires, is 264 grams of tepid or lukewarm water, 260 grams flour, 10 grams dry yeast, 1 tablespoon olive oil, and I've replaced the sugar in the recipe with a teaspoon of honey because I'm trying to use more natural sugars or sweeteners in my food. There is a pinch of salt in the recipe, mind you, but we're only going to add the salt when we've actually created a dough from all of the ingredients. Because if we add in the salt right now, it could interfere with our yeast content, whereby the yeast won't start to develop those air bubbles that we love to see in a bread dough. Moving along, add the tepid water into the bowl with honey, about 1/4 of the liquid. Add all of the yeast, the 10 grams yeast. Then we're just going to give that a little stir and I'm just going to let it rest for about 2 minutes to dissolve all of that beautiful yeast. Make sure you get that honey mixed in as well. In the meantime, take your flour into a bowl. Boom. Create a well in the center. Add the rest of the water. Add the tablespoon of olive oil. And then it's been about 2 minutes. We add the rest of the water and the yeast content. And then we mix this bad boy. Start just by folding in the edges as good as we can, and then we just mix it through. And we start to formulate a dough, a bread dough. Now friends, this is very important, eh? Only once we've actually created a dough do we then add our salt. Very important when making bread. Don't add salt any time before then. It's a very sticky dough, so don't mind if it seems a little bit wet, because that is ciabatta for you. A little bit of olive oil around the edges. Take some plastic wrap. And then cover the bread dough. At this point you wanted to let it rest or rise in a fairly warm area of your kitchen. Personally, what I do is I leave the oven on at 50 degrees Celsius with the light on, and I let it rise in there. So after about 15 minutes in my proofing oven, so I'm going to do this at 15-minute intervals at 50 degrees Celsius. You take your bread dough out, boom, you fold one, you fold two, and then take the whole batter and try and flip it upside down. It's a very sticky dough, but don't worry, that's just how ciabatta is. If you don't want your fingers to stick as much to the dough, like I was just demonstrating, oil your hands with some oil and the dough won't stick as much to your fingers. Couple of cling film once more. I'm going to let it proof again. Okay friends, here goes our second fold. Just remove the plastic. I've dipped my hands in olive oil just so the dough doesn't stick as much. Fold, turn, fold, and take the whole dough and try and flip it over. And that'll go in for the last proof, and then we'll start baking our ciabatta. Cover it again once more. So when we're making the ciabatta, keep in mind we fold it like I've just shown you twice, and then we proof it 3 times. So we're going in for the third proof. We folded it twice. After the third proof, we're going to put it in a tray and start baking our bread. Okay friends, we've proofed it 3 times and we folded twice. Proof 3 times, fold twice. I say it again. Boom. So after we folded twice and proofed 3 times, we're now put it in the baking tray right here. It's very important that we flour it quite a bit, Be very generous with the flour. Just shape our ciabatta into the way we want. Not short of a bit of flour, Make sure you've got quite a bit of flour. But when you're making this, make sure you preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius. Pretty hot oven, Folks, our ciabatta, beautifully baked. Italian white bread, freshly made, ciabatta, right out the oven.